Kingsglaive, Final Fantasy 15 is an action sci-fi fantasy video game movie directed by the same director of Final Fantasy VII Advent Children, and it stars Aaron Paul, Lena Headey and Sean Bean. I am personally not the biggest fan of Final Fantasy, or more than that, actually I just don't really love it as much as other people. I've played every single one of them, I completed a couple of them, my favorite ones are probably Dissidia, which is the fighting game, and Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core. The other ones I like them, but I never really truly loved them, just because of nostalgia that I don't have for them. So, as far as movies go, they aren't all that good. Even though Advent Children is definitely the better one, you also have Spirits Within, which is boring as shit. And how is this one? Probably a mixture of the other two movies, of Advent Children and Spirits Within, because it has truly outstanding action sequences that are great, almost breathtaking, with great choreography, exciting music in the background, cool visual effects. And then you have the boring, convoluted, uninteresting, cliched story that's about the usual two kingdoms that are fighting one another, and then they try to find peace, and there is a special military group of the Kingsglaive who have to protect the kingdom, but then there is a treaty, a peace treaty, but the other side that signed the treaty is actually doing this for their own good, and then they betray everyone. It's I'm not the biggest fan of the stories in the Final Fantasy games, just because, even though they have some really interesting points, memorable moments, they're usually too convoluted and too long for their own good, and the same goes for this movie. It's not all that interesting. Some of it is probably due to the voice acting, because even though I really like the actors that portray these characters, they just felt kind of uninterested. Even though Sean Bean is probably the best one, the other ones just didn't bring their A game. They were just like, yes, we have to do this thing. Oh, what can I do to help? Oh, this is really happening. Ah, damn it, it's all their fault. It's very cliched, there isn't passion behind it. But you know where the passion is? In the animation. This is probably the best looking CGI movie that I've ever seen. It's lifelike. It truly is. Some sequences, especially some of the characters' facial animations, they are truly outstanding, and I loved watching it. But yet again, we fall down to the same old things. The story is pretty boring. If you like the Final Fantasy games and even the Final Fantasy movies, you're definitely gonna love this one. If you like just action movies, I recommend you watch this once just to see the cool action. But otherwise I won't see it again. It's cool looking. It sets up the upcoming video game relatively nicely into a couple of scenes, and a couple of characters felt kind of forced in. And the soundtrack is great soundtrack, but as always, the story is, it's there. So check it out, just for the action in my opinion. And if you love Final Fantasy, buy it definitely for the story, because you're gonna love this shit. But still guys, have you seen Kingsglaive Final Fantasy 15? Are you interested in watching it, and do you want to play the upcoming video game? Tell me in the comments below. Thanks always for watching, remember to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.